All right. Hello, my name is Daniel Guys. I'm the creative and technical director here at Edie Films. And today we're going to be back on to some rigging stuff in After Effects, I think. Have lots and lots of stuff going on right now. There's so many ways we could go, but I figured let's wrap up these empty rigs because I really want to get them out to people and out on the store. And so I really want to wrap this guy up. We'll just finish it up. Might as well. It's just sitting there. We delivered our stuff to the for the Unreal project, and so we're having a look at what that feels. We'll see what happens there. Hey Pramod, welcome to the stream. Um, so we're gonna. I guess we'll just get back to this. And I figured today what we could do is actually get some hand controls on this character for these hands that we built that are just sitting here. So we could, hey Pachelovic, we could use joysticks and sliders, and so we can play with that. I'm always a bit rusty on it because I don't use it on the regular, but we'll give it a try, and then we could also create some custom controllers if you don't have joysticks and sliders. So maybe I'll focus on the custom ones first, just because it's a bit. I guess it's more manual, but it gives you more control, and you don't need a special plugin to make it work. So I'm just going to, what I thought I would do is figure out first how we could set up a really nice hand control rig. 'Cause typically, even in 3D, we have control rigs that you actually use to drive poses or like control sets. So I kind of thought maybe we could start by making a really basic, it doesn't matter what the composition is, but just sort of a hand layout with nulls that we can then use to drive the actual character hand poses. I guess he's kind of like a zombie. I don't know. I'm thinking of this character, this guy, the creature, as being kind of like dead and living at the same time. You know, maybe it's like taken over by nature. It's hard to tell because there's no color on it right now. But I kind of figured he's a little woodish looking, with some like the muscle tissue would be warm. It wouldn't be like rotten. But I guess. Okay. All right. See you later. Sorry, guys. Anyways, I kind of figured he'd be half alive, essentially, or she, whoever. We don't know. It is a genderless creature. Okay. So let's go to the hand. Now, in the hand, so I have a wrist controller, obviously, and the wrist controller will dictate the rotation of the hand. I in 2D and 3D. So there you go, like that. Um, right, we have it at 71. Just put this at 0 and see what that does. Okay, so we already have an orientation on it. So all of our rotation animation controls will influence this. And someone had commented on the last stream that if you didn't want the fingers to flip, you don't put the expression on the orientation, which is totally right. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so let's build a really quick control setup. And just because hands are kind of annoying and complicated, so this character has 3 fingers and a thumb. So we need to take into account the index, middle, pinky, and thumb. I find setting up hand controls like kind of annoying, honestly. It's kind of a big job. That's why I don't usually, when I'm doing hands, I usually, if I'm using joysticks and sliders, I will usually just make the hands as basic as possible, like something with a clenched, something a little bit, different, a couple of different poses. But really, I try not to get too into complexity, because it just gets really annoying. They're just hard to set up. Like there's just a lot of the same thing over and over again, and I find it really boring to set up. But that's me. So I'm just going to fix these scales here. So we'll do 40 and 20. I guess actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was just thinking that we'll just do the hands facing upwards, I suppose. Or I guess, I don't know, are they down? Hey Matt, welcome to the stream. Hey Rishab? Is it, Rishab? Rishab? I don't know if I'm saying your toucan rig? Oh, I didn't see that. How did you send that to me? Just let me know how you sent that to me. I didn't see that. I'm not sure why I didn't see that. Did you send that to me somehow? Sorry about that. Just let me know if I missed your rig somehow. Oh, are you asking me something? Oh, sorry. You guys aren't talking to me. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to set these finger controls, these finger little rotators up. Now the question, I guess the question with the controls in some ways are, do we want them parented together? I don't really ever know what to do here. We'll just go like this. Okay, so this will be this one. So we'll duplicate that. This will be the middle finger. This will be the ring finger, or sorry, pinky, I suppose. And then we'll do the thumb. I guess we'll do the thumb like here. Oops. This. We'll put the thumb, oops, put the thumb down. Oh no. Come on, man. What? Put the thumb down here. Oh, okay. No, I haven't tested your Toucan rig at all yet. Sorry about that. No, I haven't even looked, haven't checked. But thank you on Dribbble. All right. Thank you. I will check that out. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to each give them different colors. Sorry if I sniff. I have a little bit of a cold. I'm going to try not to be disgusting. Maybe we'll check out your Toucan rig just even online, just to have a quick look at it. Let me just double check here. I got to make sure that I'm not completely ignoring the Watch Me Work stream either here. Not that anyone ever really talks to me, and I don't really talk to anybody on it, but if somebody does ask a question, I don't want to be completely ignoring it. I sometimes forget to check both. And I can't really tell who's talking to me on the Watch Me Work thing. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's talking to me. But anyways. Oh, you gave the link above? Oh, okay. Pramod, thank you. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's just... It's always a little shaky getting started here. There's a link above. I don't see anything. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to keep moving. Let's just keep moving so that when people refer to this video, if anyone looks at it in the future, they won't get utterly aggravated by how slow it's moving. Because I certainly would. Okay. So I'm going to scale these each slightly differently so that you kind of know this is the pinky, this is sort of the middle finger, and this is like the pointer finger. Okay, and then each one of these, I'm going to just leave it so all you can do is rotate them. They're not parented together, just because otherwise the control will get really messy. And I suppose, I guess we could put a wrist. Yeah, I guess we'll do a wrist one for like tilting the wrist and stuff. So we'll just grab maybe this one, and we'll put one for, this will be like, I don't know, we'll do one red and one yellow, I suppose. That would be like tilt and twist or something. I don't really have a color code for this. I'm kind of just making this up at the moment, which is really sloppy, but I just don't really, it's kind of, yeah, I find it a little bit hard. I can always change the colors later. So we'll call this wrist twist, wrist twist, and what is another, like, twist and, I don't know, we'll call pivot, I suppose. All right, so this we'll call, and I should probably put them in order, top to bottom. Okay, so we'll call this pinky A. I should probably pinky B. Let's make this will be the right hand. RT. So we'll just do RT in front of them all, just so that when I'm referring to them, even with expressions, that we don't get some kind of confusion. I just like to be careful. Okay, and we'll just go. Okay, this is gonna be boring, guys. I'm really sorry. This is just like, it just has to be done. It's RT ring. I don't know what that finger is actually called when you're not calling it a ring finger, because I would imagine that's a very culturally specific reference. Okay. Ugh. RT. I was trying to speed things up and I messed up. All right, what are you guys saying? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. If you is there a way you can write phonetically, Rishab? I don't know how to say it. Rishab? Is there a different way to say it? I don't know if you pronounce the H or how. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean no offense. It's just I just don't know how to pronounce your name. I think if I heard your name, I would be a little bit. I wouldn't have as much trouble. However, you probably, if you have been on the old streams, I'm really bad with remembering names, and you might have sent me your name before, and now I'm forgetting how to pronounce it again. Okay, so this will be, the last one is the thumb. So thumb A, oh, don't forget RT underscore home, Control C, enter B, and then enter and C. Okay. Thank you for your patience and understanding with me. I appreciate it. Okay, so thumb, index, ring, pinky, all of them here, wrist, rotate. So this whole little controller setup we will just use as for our hands. And then I think what I'll do, I'm just using null objects because there's so many of them, and I think if I use like the do it control, shape control things, it's just going to get really heavy. So I don't really want to have to deal with that. We'll do one more null object, and we'll just call this hand right. I don't know what, like we already have a C hand right, so all right, C hand right. What should we call this? I don't know what we should call this. Hand right. We already have controls, but I'll just put that for now. Because what I need to do is I need to parent everybody to this thing so that I have sort of a universal scaling thing, a rotation or piece that I can attach it all to. I might even just do this, make it fit inside this red square. This null object there. And actually, I'll rotate this null object this way. And then put it over here. Bonk. There we go. So this will be hand right, and then we'll just parent everybody to it. So this way, what I can do is just copy this and put it right inside of the main composition. I don't want it inside of the hand and then having to link the controls or anything like that. It just adds for extra. I pressed paste. I'm not sure what happened. It just adds for extra expressions that have to happen. So here are our hand controls for the right hand. And usually with this, I just parent it to the waist, the hips, or to, I would normally parent this in the 3D world. I would parent this to a master controller, but this one, you can't seem to do master controllers with Duik right now. I'm not quite sure how to get around that. What kind of trouble are you having with Duik? Just out of curiosity. So this is the right hand. So I suppose I'm going to put it over here, even though it's kind of going to be like that. You would sort of assume it'd be like that, but it's kind of, unless I rotate it down, rotate the whole thing down. That's the other reason to parent this whole thing, because I can rotate this master without messing up the actual hands. And what version of Rishab? What version of Duik are you using as well? It'd be good to know. Okay, so I'm going to take these controls and I'll probably duplicate them. I know this looks like a lot. This is a lot of controls to have, and normally what you would do is you would hide these so that you're not dealing with these until you're in the fine stages of animation. Which version though? Like, is it like really old? And maybe just let me know what you're trying to do. Maybe I can help you. I never know for sure because it has been a while, but I might be able to help you. Okay, so let's do this. We've got the hand controls. And for this one, I'll just rename everything. Again, this is going to be super boring. I'm really sorry. Maya has this really nice tool for like modifying names and search and replacing. It may exist in After Effects, but I'm not really sure if it does. And then we'll have to get rid of all those little twos. Up. I guess you could probably always make a script to do exactly this, but I'm so slow at scripting that it just makes it not worth it. Because what am I going to do this like once on a project? Actually, I should probably put the left here. Yes, I will. I will do another. I did do a little painting tutorial in Rebel, not a huge one, obviously, but yeah, I will for sure. When we move to the next stage, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I guess that will probably be a problem for this channel and for this stream, is that I'm doing so many different things that the stream is going to be really inconsistent on what you can learn from it. So it'll be good for some people one day, and then kind of crappy for other people the other day. Really just depending on what we're doing, because as you know, I'm not really a specialist at all. I'm just a mess all over the place. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lighting one. I was just playing with some lighting today because for the Harry Hill project, I was setting up the paper materials in Redshift, which has actually was really good until I made the paper thick, and now it's like being really a lot more difficult to make work. Okay, you're using using it in AECS6, okay? Can you tell me what you're trying to do? Because there might be a way around it, whatever you're trying to do. Or there might be an easy solution. So just tell me what you're up to, and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay, so we have a lot of controls here. I know this looks like a mess, and it's kind of scary. We'll move this over here. And technically, actually, now that I'm looking at it, the hand should be flipped, but I'm going to do that. I will do it. I think I'll do it properly. So there's no mirror function here, but I will just take these embedded guys here and move it over. Oh yeah, they're not parented, right? We'll just put it over there. And then we'll put the index finger here. I think the ring finger can come over here. And then the pinky finger can come over here. I'm just holding shift down and sliding them over. It's not going to be perfect. That's not the point. It's just to have something that's really easy to quickly grab. Let's see how much space we have. Other side. Okay. And then these guys, we'll just swap them here. Whoops. The pivot, we'll bring pivot over. Okay, I'm going to look up at the chat in just a second here. Okay, and then Oops. Okay. What did you say? You're trying to rig a hand. Okay. You're using, okay, and you're trying to rig a hand. What kind of hand is it? Is it like a flat hand? Is it a sideways hand with fingers? And you're using the puppet pins. And I'm assuming, are you using Duik to make your bones? Is that what you're trying to do? Or like, what are you trying to do with Duik? Or are you trying to create IK chains? Okay, so we now have our two hands. I know they're backwards. It's kind of weird. I mean, I'm on the fence about how to. They're flipped. They're more like this, but it's only because the hands are actually upside down. Because the hands are facing down. It's a little weird, but I think it should be fine. I mean, technically, in a real rig scenario, like for Maya, you would always have your left and right hand on the left and right, and it would be not flipped. I mean, I'm trying to think okay, so you're trying to do IK with fingers. Typically, the problem with fingers is fingers have 3 joints. So if you're trying to do like an IK finger chain, it's a little bit hard. Another thing you could try is try to do a Bezier curve one instead. I think even the old version of Duik has a Bezier curve if you're trying to make it so that you can grab the fingers and have them on a point. IK is hard because you can only use two joints in IK. Like there's only 2 joint IKs. Well, they have 3 joints. You have like the base, the middle, and the tip. But a finger actually has like technically like your elbow. I guess you could do a 2-point IK actually, but you're going to have to be able to rotate the tip of the finger. So you treat the tip of the finger like it's a hand, right? So make sure that when you're doing your rig, especially in the old Duik, you have to parent the index bone, like parent the bone here, because you're going to have, if you're using the puppet pin, you're going to have 4 bones for a finger, right? You'll have the knuckle, this knuckle, and then the tip. So when you create the bone, you want to parent the fingertip bone to the knuckle bone, the end knuckle bone. Then you want to parent that one to this one to that one, and then you need to build a control object. I think in the old Duik, you have to build like some kind of controller or end of the IK. I don't think you can auto. Maybe they don't. I don't remember if it has an auto rig. So build that, parent it, and then build like a null object and parent and stick it where that last bone is. Does that make sense? It's kind of, I can maybe show you. Let me just sort out these hand things because I feel like I've done the wrong thing by having the hands like this. It doesn't really matter. It just looks weird. I'm just trying to think if it matters. And the way I could fix it is I just swap the fingers, or I just go through and rename everything to left and then to right. Is there not like a rename thing? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Layer. I don't see a renamer. Edit. No, there isn't. Okay, well, let's just, and also if you're doing like a flat hand, like are you trying to get the hand to like crunch down like that? Or are you gonna like make it so the hand's flat and the fingers sort of bend off to the side a little bit? I think I might just swap these because it looks stupid right now. So it's kind of annoying. Also, what'll probably happen is we'll have a naming problem. Sorry, I know this is annoying. Who wants to watch this? Not me. It's just like confusing. It's better if I catch it now. It's better I deal with it now than try to deal with it after. When I've done all my links and everything like that, and I've done my expressions. Usually the expressions are pretty good at keeping track if you change names, but not always. Okay. Okay, so getting questions on some lighting. So yeah, I used to use Mental Ray, because I have a newer version of Maya now that they stopped having Mental Ray in it. Um, Oh, it says the magic's happening, but nothing happens. Okay. Um, I have to think about this for a second. I've had something similar happen before. It could, hmm, it could be there's what could be happening is it doesn't recognize the way your names are. Um, it could just be a bug. One thing to try maybe if to see if it's a bug or not is start a whole new scene. Just do a really quick new scene and set up a single finger and see if you have the same problem. So you're using the version of Duik. If it says magic is happening, that must be a sort of newer version of Duik. It's possible that your CS is having a bug inside of Duik. The other thing to make sure of if you're doing an auto rig is make sure all your joints have a unique name because it could be confusing names with something. You don't really know for sure. Make sure all the joints that you want to include in the auto rig are all selected. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to answer Shivam with your mental ray thing. If you want to get soft shadows, the easiest way to get soft shadows is if you go in Maya. I'm going to open it. I don't have mental ray, but I can show you a really quick way to get soft shadows. Like if you go to my sketch, the Sketchfab thing, it just kind of has soft shadows built into it because it's using global illumination. But if you're using Mental Ray has a really cool thing. If you, I don't have the render settings anymore, but I'll try to show you sort of, see if we can pull it up really quick. I'll show you. This is like a diversion. Let's turn the grid on so we can make sure we see everything. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, so if you're using Mental Ray, one thing you can do just using Maya lights is if you go create and we create a light and we create, like, let's say we create a directional light, which is one of the better lights to use for sure. Point lights are good too, but I'll show you. This probably won't work with create, let's do a sphere and then we'll do like, I know we're off topic here, guys, sorry. I'm just trying to answer this question now, otherwise I'll never do it. Okay, so we have a sphere and a ball. Maybe I'll try in Redshift and see if this actually works. Redshift render view, play. The principles should be about the same. So this directional light here, if you go into your attributes, you can go into the shadows setting and you can say use ray trace shadows, and then you put like 12, put a 12 and put a 2 or a 10. As you increase the light angle, you'll get softer and softer shadows. You see that? And if you want the soft shadows to look okay, you just have to make sure you have enough little shadow ray samples, because if you have something like 2, it'll look kind of rough. So the more you have, the better. And then you can kind of just play with it that way. And those will work in Mental Ray. The other thing to do, which I find if you're not really experienced with lighting at all, and you're not using global illumination or something, you can just add, I don't know if like this program though supports ambient lights. I don't think it does. Okay, so anyway, that's one option. You could do another light and put it straight down if you want sort of like a skylight and really soften it out, like make the shadow angle like 90, 50 rays or something. And this is like really, really basic lighting, right? So maybe let's say this is sort of our sun or something. And then that's at 1. And then this would be our sky, so we can kind of give it a bluish tint. This isn't like 100% accurate at all, because now we're not calculating bounce light. So this is doing a very, it's the same problem. Okay, we'll check it out. I'll try and see what happens and see. You tell me if what we're doing is right or wrong once we finish with this. So this is sort of, I've got some soft shadows. I've got sort of a top light. And what I can do is I could do a bounce light also. This is using no global illumination or anything. So then what you can do for the light that comes up from the ground that might be bouncing off it, if you're doing some kind of like generic thing, is you tell it not to use shadows. And you see what I've done there? And then I just put this to like 0.2. And I can make it either bluish or white or whatever might be the color. Like if, let's say the ground was green or something. This is a way to cheat and get really, really fast lighting that looks okay. I think because the ground is like white and the sky would be reflecting blue, we'll just kind of bring a little bit of blue into it. And there, so we've got sort of a decent soft shadow setup. So I don't know if that helps you. If you're using point lights, we'll just do this really, really quick. If you have a point light, where is it? Create point lights, and we'll do like, I'm not using any of the, I'm just using the Maya default lights. I'm not using the Redshift lights. So if you have a point light, the way that you want to get sort of soft shadows on that one is go to your shadows and do the same thing. Light radius, put 25. Oh, that's way too high. Let's put 2. So this kind of turns it into a light bulb, and because it has a radius, the light source is emitting over a wider area. So like a point light, when the radius is set to 0, it's like a tiny particle of, it's like a single nano spot of light emitting all the light from a singular point, and that's what it would look like. A shadow from that kind of light would look like. Light bulbs, however, emit light over an area of light, not to mention all this light bounces around all over the place. So to simulate that, you increase the radius, and that sort of increases the surface area that the light comes from, and then you'll get like a nice soft shadow there. And then if you mix this with an area light, you can get some interesting effects. So then they have things like 3-point lighting and all that other stuff. You can look up 3-point lighting concepts on YouTube. Just look up 3-point lighting, and you'll see kind of what they're doing. And a lot of the time, 3-point lighting is things like this, where you have one, like you have a key light, and then all your other lights are slightly dimmer, right? And they're slightly different colors. So I might do the complement to this yellow color, might be a bluish purple color, and that might give me, I might want to just do like a nice little edge light, and I'll adjust it till I'm getting the edge I'm looking for. And maybe that would, instead of that being a point light, it might actually be it would be a directional light. And I would turn it this way, and try to keep it off the ground a little bit. And it depends on whether I want to use shadows or not. Increase the angle to 5, whatever. Anyway, so that's like your 2-point lighting. And then your third would just be from another angle, right? So, and this one, I'm not sure. Anyways, your third light could be another point light. And that could be from over here. It's just kind of like sculpting an object's form with light. And usually, like, if you're lighting a face or something, they would all be different elevations and coming from different angles to help sculpt the face. And then so here, this light would be, let's say, maybe kind of a reddish color or whatever you want. And you can just desaturate and tone it down. But so that's kind of a really basic like 3-point lighting setup. And they do that for like product lighting and stuff like that. But I hope that helps. So I will stop Maya now. That was a little detour. Okay, so I've flipped the names of these hands, and then we're going to have a really quick look at what Rishab is going through here. Let me just fix this. RT, and then, okay, that's all good. So we'll just move this over now to the other hand, and then I'm going to help you with your thing. We'll just put this one here, just for now. And this is gonna just work better, because it's just whatever's gonna make more sense when you're animating. That's the important thing. Okay, so let's just set up a really quick composition to figure out this hand problem that Rashib is having. Comp 1, we'll just go into this comp. Okay, so I'll just do a quick finger layer. We'll just do a solid, I guess. I suppose we could do a shape layer too, but we'll just do a solid, doesn't matter. 800 by 50. It's like a finger worm. Okay. And then let's just put the puppet pin on it. One finger joint 2, 3. I'm not sure. This might be weird. Oh, it's going to be weird because it's scaled. That's a problem. Let's just go like this. New solid. We'll just make it the comp size, and we'll just mask it off using this. Shape layers are cool too. You can use whatever you want. Okay, so one. Oh yeah, we need an end joint. So I'm thinking this is the knuckle at the base. This is the middle of the knuckle. This is the end joint, or sorry, the last knuckle, and then that's the tip. Okay, so we have that, and then all we do is we're in Duik, and we're going to ask it to make some bones. So we'll go add bones. So it's added some bones. Then you want to do an auto rig of like, oh, no. I don't want that to happen. Oh, crap. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I hate it when it does this. Okay, workspace. Let's reset. So annoying. Magic is happening forever. That's now a new composition in our project. Get out of here. Okay. What you need to do if you want to set up an IK is you need to, at least with the newer Duik, there's other ways to do it. Like the Duik has an old way of doing it as well. I lost my Duik window. This is so annoying. Okay. Where are you? Duik. Okay. Put it down there. Okay, so we have our bones now. And we want to auto rig. So don't hit the auto rig button. Hit the gear thing. And then we can pick how we want to do our auto rig, right? Pick which one you want. So we can set up a 1 and 2 layer IK right here. Or you're going to go auto rig, essentially an IK. It doesn't matter. What is this one? FK with overlap. Okay. Undo. We don't want that. Okay, so now what we do is you can change this to, I don't know exactly what this means. Let's see. It says use Bezier iCurve IK whenever possible. Prefer standard IK whenever possible. I guess that's if you're doing like a whole character rig. So anyways, the thing to do is to select the involved joints, okay? Don't select anything else. This one is going to be parented here. You don't have to do your parenting, I don't think, but it probably helps. So it's going to be these 3 joints, and then we're going to go auto rig. Now, if we selected it in the right direction, it should work. Does that make sense? So that you've got kind of your finger, and then you have to use this to bend the tip. Okay, so the reason you're getting that problem, that where everything kind of gets all messed up, it's because you've put your bones in and everything, and you're just clicking auto rig. And it doesn't have anything to rig, so the whole thing is going weird on you. So just make sure you select the joints you want to rig first. There's no need to select this end joint here. You don't want to include it, because if you include it, it's not going to know which one to assign the 3 joint IK to, okay? So it tries to be smart. Like if you were to select this bone and this bone, and I'm selecting in rescinding order, but it all depends on how you parent. So you want to make sure your joints are parented properly. Your end joint parents down to that one. That joint parents onto this one, and this joint parents to the base. And then you make sure you select all those joints, and then you can even do auto rig here, and it should still work. Okay? And if you were to do, let's say, these 2 joints and say auto rig, bonk, you should get a single joint IK. I think also, if we go like this, go to auto rig, we could do like a Bezier one. So let's go like this. Doot. Well, let's just select all of them and see what happens. We'll do a Bezier auto rig. What do we get? We should get sort of like a curve thing happening. Okay, so these are our 2 controls. Oh, and there should be a 3rd controller, like the middle one. Yeah, this guy. So this one. And this one. Just make sure you have your parents set up and that you're selecting the right layers, okay? and everything should hopefully work for you. I'm going to delete that comp for now, but if you have questions, well, I'll leave it for now, but if you have questions, just let me know and we'll. Okay. So I think we're done with the detours for a little bit here. These controls will lock the base here and that one. Otherwise, it'll always select them because it's at the top. So these will be our tilt, pivot. Sorry. All right, so now it's time to start rigging this thing. Let's attach the rigs to the existing hand. Maybe let's get the dynamic hand actually in the proper place. So it's this one right here. We just want to use the nested composition. So we're going to take the dynamic hand and we're going to actually parent it to the rig. I'm going to put it under all the controls and I want the hand to be, I think, under the wrist, but over top of the rest of the body. So I have everything visible and we'll just we have arm left here. This is dynamic hand left. So we're going to put that there. Make sure it's on frame 1. And I'm just going to grab it and move it where I want it. It's probably too big. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we like a big creepy hand. It's too light, that's for sure. Let's just go like this. Okay, so we want it under this wrist thing. And then what I can do is I can just parent the whole hand. So we want to make sure we put our anchor point in there properly. So probably put the anchor around here somewhere. Go like this. And then now we can just parent this hand to the structure. I think I'll just parent it to the structure. So if we go down here, we just have to look for something with the prefix of S. And we want... Get out of here. We want to go S hand. Or not hand right. S hand left. Come on. S tiptoe, S toe, to heel. Come on, it should be up here somewhere. Why is it way down here? Okay, S hand left. And then what I'll do is just test and see really quickly. Lock this, lock that, and see if it's parented properly, which it should be. Yep. Okay. Cool. And we've got some slight movement happening. Did that help you, Rishab? Okay, good. I hope it helps. So let me know if you have more problems. Okay, so I have that hand control selected. I'm just going to turn these on and off. And I just want to have a look at how that hand is moving. I think it's moving pretty nice, actually. I like the wrist is moving good. I might have to bring it up a little bit because when it comes off this way, we start getting a slight detachment. So let's take this here. Rotate. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I'm the worst idiot in town. Okay, here we go. Hand, unlock you. I'm going to change the anchor point a little bit. Bring it up a bit. And then bring it over a bit so it's more centered on the hand. And then we'll bring it down. Okay, and then we'll just do the same thing. We'll just turn these off for a second. I'm going to grab the hand controller. And then we'll just look at them again. Bump. Cool. That's better. We're still getting a little bit of a separation, but it's kind of the way the drawing is done. I might have to just increase. That's what these buffer things are for. So if I'm seeing that the wrist is detaching, all I have to do, actually we can just do it here, is I'll go up to the wrist buffer. There's so many layers. It's insane. Wrist rotation buffer left. And we can increase the value to or decrease it to 0.25. Or to 0.1. And that'll really keep the wrists stuck together. So now when we grab the wrist controller, God, there's so many layers. I usually, when I'm doing animation, I turn on and off visibility of layers depending on what stage I'm animating. So let's just have a look at that. That's a lot better. I like there's a little bit of variation happening. So that is problematic once the wrist gets there. So we might have to adjust it even more. Depends on what the hand is doing. It works really well here, very well like that. It doesn't work so well once we get past a certain point here. So let me just fix the anchor point one more time. One way you can adjust this kind of stuff is if we take those two layers here, and we'll just make them semi-transparent so we can actually see where things are. And get a handle on where stuff is. The other thing we want to do is possibly have a look at where the wrist bones are. Oh, they're very wide. That's the thing. That's why it's kind of traveling weird. I forgot about that. So we're going to take the dynamic hand. I'm going to put the anchor point inside the hand because I don't have actually that proper wrist junction. So usually you have your thumb, and I have that thumb joint, but then there's the wrist joint, and it's a little further up, right, where the wrist actually bends versus where the thumb bends. There's kind of a space. I don't really have that, so I'm going to just have the wrist sort of collapse on itself, just come up a little bit, and then I'll just move the whole thing down a touch. Okay, so we'll try one more time. Everything takes so long. That's good. Let's hope this is okay. This one's still not quite working. It probably also has a lot to do with the bones. Let me just get this roughly where it's having a problem. Because the other thing is I could offset the... Sorry guys, just have to work through this stuff. It's just the way it goes. Let's bring the hand down a bit. Oh, we can't really. It actually doesn't really matter where our anchor point here is because we're not actually rotating the hand. We're actually rotating the structure. So the other thing, I guess, is we could have it not parented to the structure. That's an option, I suppose. Let's just see. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. There's a little bit of problem in the actual the offset of the hand, but that's something we'll kind of just play with. I'll get figured out as we go. Let's just try to, maybe we'll just bring the hand a little further this way just to help. It's never going to be perfect. It's mostly because we're using a rig that has a container wrapped around it. So that's the thing that kind of makes things a little different here. Is if this was a rig that was specific to the way the character was built, it would be less of a thing. But right now, okay, and I also want to just find one more thing. I'm going to take a look at where that structure is. Sorry, guys. Structure, hand, left. Let's turn it on. There it is. Okay, so you can see that the wrist is the actual wrist is offset from the center of the structure, which can be problematic. So what we might want to do is move that hand a little, rotate that whole arm a little bit. I'm going to do that really quick. So this is going to be kind of weird, guys. I'm sorry for this, but we got to fix it. So if we go into the arm comp, the wrist isn't exactly where it should be. It's a little offset, like it's a little bit high. So I'm going to rotate, I'm going to rotate the arm. Just over like this a bit. Actually, undo, So put it back, take a picture, then shift it over and, rotate it like that. I don't really want to change where the shoulder is. So let's just see. Now I can compare. That's probably way too much. Okay, that's a little bit. Let's see how that feels. Bum, 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 bum. So the wrist is moved a bit. Let's see if it's sort of centered. a little bit better. The way we can do this is just have this one locked and go into the arm and then just rotate it one way or the other and then reposition it slightly. Let's put this to half resolution just so we can actually see what's happening. Okay, and now we just want to make sure that our shoulder and everything is working correctly. So let's go back here, put this to quarter. We'll grab the wrist. This should work better, I think. Okay, it's a little better. Okay, cool. And as long as our shoulder lines up properly, which it should, everything should be okay. Sorry for the boring stream, guys. This is like deadly boring, I know. Yeah, sure. I'd happily do a breakdown video. That'd be super fun. I can pull all that up. We can do that next week if you want. That'd be really fun. We can kind of go through everything for sure, just like what we did with the giant bear one. Yeah, that'd be great. Be more than happy to do that. Let's do it next week. Good suggestion. Those ones are kind of fun for me too because it's less. I don't know. They're kind of less structured, I suppose. Would be the word. I mean, yeah, they're just more fun. They're less boring. I think these kind of streams can get a little boring. I guess I could just zero this out. I bet the 0 point on the structure is probably right at the wrist, actually. Now that I think about it. There we go. And I'll just offset the anchor point on this wrist here. There we go. Let's see if this helped anything. Hopefully it wasn't a complete waste of time. Okay. Let's get the hand control back up. I should probably just, I don't know why I keep going up here and just selecting. I should probably just have it. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I want to actually see what I'm doing. Okay. This should work better. It's better. It's not perfect. Okay. The other thing maybe I'll do is go like this really quick. And we'll have a look at, sorry guys, this is really boring. Oh, cool. How do I check it out, Pramod? Can you just email it to me or something? Okay, let's turn all this stuff off. I think one of the other things I can do to fix this slight shuffling around problem we're having is possibly the way it's parented. And the layer how it's parented and possibly where my starch is. So I might have to fix starches, which is kind of an ongoing process in this kind of stuff. I'm just going to turn down the opacity of this layer here. Hand left, transparency, it's way too opaque. I can't see anything. How do I moderate you? What does that mean? I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Moderate you somehow. Well, here I'll make a Google document for you guys. I'll make a new folder. We will call it YouTube Stream. Okay. Okay. All right. So I just made one called YouTube Stream, and I'm going to make a shared link. Okay. There. Now you guys can stick anything you want in there. I think, hopefully. So I guess, yeah, we could make I'll make a quick Google document in there. New Google document, create and share, YouTube stream, links, and okay. You don't have permission. Okay. Anyone can view. Done. Okay. It should be shared. I did, unless it limits it somehow. Let me see. I'm not quite sure how that works. Let me try to do it again. I will make sure that ED YouTube stream. I'm going to go get shareable link. Anyone with the link can view. It says link sharing can. Oh, but maybe you can't add to it? Oh, you don't have permission to upload. Okay, just bear with me for 1 second. How do we fix that? Anyone with the link can view, but we want something that people can edit. Share. There. I fixed it. So now try it again. Okay, I just cannot figure out exactly why this wrist is moving so much. The arm should be parented to the... Sorry guys, I know this is brutally boring. I don't blame you guys if you all leave. Arm left should be parented to the forearm. I'm just going to double check my starching really quick. I might throw the stiffness up a little bit. See what that does. Doesn't do anything. Okay, so okay, Pramod, don't worry. It doesn't have to be finalized. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure something out here. Okay, that's not doing anything. Get rid of that one. Where is... There's a rotation point problem. So I'm going to go into here. I'll try to rotate this one a little bit more. I'm going to rotate it while it's... And then bring it over a bit. And see if this fixes it. It might not. I might have to put everything back. And then Pramod, I'll check out your thing in 2 seconds. As soon as I get this sorted out. Let's try this hand rotate thing again. Now is it sliding way the other way too much? Probably. I just can't see anything. I kind of hate how big the controls are. Get out of here. I can't see anything. Okay, we'll just isolate the... Ugh. Yeah, it's sliding over way too far the other way now. Weird. I gotta solve... I'm gonna have to just solve this on my own because I'm not really sure what exactly is happening here. Well, I know what's happening. I just don't really know the fastest way to fix it because essentially what's happening is the wrist is traveling a little bit, probably because of where it's linked in relationship to the pivots. And I have to figure out, well, I guess one way I could do this, fix this. Just bear with me for a few more minutes. Sorry, guys. I do realize this is just terrifically boring. And I'll put this arm back a little bit. Okay, that's better on that one. Do we work on this one? Probably. Okay, that's better. It's better. It's better. It's better. Okay, we just need to go a little further down, and then we should be fine. So all I'm really doing is I'm adjusting the anchor point to give it a little more, so it has more travel that matches the travel of the wrist. Okay, that's better. Okay, I think we're good. Awesome, we fixed it. Yay. Okay, let's have a look at Pramod's file. Here it is. Cool. It's bloody. Wicked. So, let's have a look. Cool. What did you color it in? I'm just going to open this in. How do I download this? Get out of here. Okay, open with. Oh, there's no app for it? I have to download it first. Okay. Hope you don't have viruses. Show in folder. Open with Photoshop. Let's have a look at it. I mean, we kind of already looked at it, but I want to look at it a little closer. And while I'm waiting for Photoshop to open, I will move this hand around. Oh, no. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Okay, Pramod, cool. I want to look at this properly with... Get out of here. What is going on? Okay. Wicked. Cool. Now, the only thing I would suggest on this is I like your base color and the color of the muscle tissue looks sick. What I would possibly add to this is maybe, I'm not sure because I'm no expert, I would put in some really thin greens, possibly. Mix some greens into your reds, and you'll see how it kind of gives a little bit of variety to the muscle tone, the textures. Possibly greens. Could even go into like purples. But the purples are probably not complementary enough to the red that you used. Here's a bit of blue. I'm trying to throw in some blue. So once you've done like a base coat like this, then it's good to come back in with some other colors and experiment a little. Green's like a pretty good one. It's weird. It's like counterintuitive. But if your reds, the muscle tissue is roughly around here, a complement color is that kind of green, and that'll gray things out. But it's a place to go if you want to start adding a little bit of variety in your color. And as long as you're not changing the value too much, like so I've got this set to a color pass, it'll totally work fine. And just don't do it really heavy, and just experiment a little bit. So I think you've got your base reds, which work really well, and then just go in and just add some bits of color to make them look a little grosser. A couple of greens in there. I would try greens because I think, yeah, it's kind of a compliment and it's weird. And then, no, the colors you have, the reddish color is great. I like the reddish color. I think it's kind of like the right direction to go. And then like I said, I would just add like a couple of greens and stuff. Anything, it might be a little counterintuitive, but just anything that will help give you some variety. And that can usually come from like a complementary color. It will gray it out in the middle, but that's actually not always a bad thing, unless you're going for mega saturated. And then for these areas, which you've got kind of a nice pink color, I would then go for like finding a yellowish color and then just like dab in a few spots here and there. So I'm just doing a quick like, whatever. Just a dash of yellow here and there just to vary things up. And then like as far as the wood, I think we were saying it's kind of like a driftwoody thing, so I wouldn't really worry. I don't know. You can kind of do any color, but something pretty muted. Or it could be like vines. I mean, we could go kind of a crazy like color and go viney on it. I don't know. It kind of depends what looks better. Um, yeah, you can go gross if you want, but it's really up to you. It's more just like you want to vary your colors a little bit, and just try to kind of give it some. It gives it just a little extra pop, like when you're further back. So it just kind of gives it something a little bit interesting. You can experiment. The other thing is to do is in your shadows, you can go really saturated. You can go more saturated, or you can desaturate. It's really, you just have to pick kind of oh, why isn't that working? Maybe, oh no, Photoshop's crashing because I made that brush too big. Okay, well anyways, good start. Sorry. Good start, Pramod. I think that's a great start. Just try it. Yeah, and now from your base color, I would just try adding some little extra colors and kind of try to be do some of the more unpredictable stuff, and that might actually, that'll help things pop a little more. And then you can, if you want, you can even use an overlay pass just to brighten some areas up and darken them. Just play with it and have fun. And then we can do a thing where we like drop your colors in there. Okay, so the arm is fixed, I believe. So time, after all this time, I've got to stop soon. It is time to rig up the fingers, and let's just connect them really quick, because unfortunately, I have to go pick up a computer, a workstation for David, the new individual that will be working with us. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cheat this really, really fast initially, and then just copy and paste whatever I find here. So I'm just going to go to this guy. We'll grab we have the index here, the index finger. So I'm going to take this index base one here and click on it. So let's close this and we'll unlock this. So I want to just grab the finger control. We can either do it up here or here. We're on the left hand, and we want to do left index A. So all I want to do here is I'm going to connect the rotation of that to this one. So let's have a look to this one here. That one. Or actually, we'll do it this way. This one will be left index B. Or sorry. I got to think something through here. Right. Rotation. So this one, we'll just go like this. I said rotation, didn't I? Left index A. Oh, are they like relatively rotated? No way. Oh man, that's so annoying. No, that's the worst. Okay, give me a second. It's because they're parented, and this thing is on a flipped rotation, so I need to do this. Sorry guys, this is so annoying, but maybe it's a good thing to see. If you find that you have like a rotation, it has a rotation inherited in it because we reparented after. So I need to go like this. Oh no, his head color, kind of go like, I guess, like bony green with a bit of like a bony yellowish color with a bit of green and some mossiness to it. Maybe look up something like, well, actually, bones in the woods, if you find them, are usually quite desaturated. Okay, so I'm going to set the rotation on all these guys to 0 and 0. We should all be zeroed out. That's great. And then I should be able to parent them back to this, but oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to parent them. Okay, yeah, it messes it up because it has a rotation value. I forgot about that it doesn't just live in here. Okay, so we're going to zero this guy out. Sorry for the confusion. That's awful. Okay, sorry, I'm the worst. And let me make sure that our scale isn't all weird, which it is. So let's just do 400 by 400 to keep everything squared and solid. Actually, we'll just have to do it like this. I thought it might be cool to put it inside of a thing, but I forgot that if you scale stuff up and do a bunch of wacky stuff, it's going to mess up how everything is parented. That's annoying. I'm sorry about that. That's confusing. I was trying something and it didn't really work. So if I do this, let's just check and make sure the rotation values are right and the scale values are right. Yep. Okay. So let's try this again. In Maya, there's this way to do these like freeze transforms. Oh yeah, Pramod, don't worry about it. Don't go crazy with the colors either. You don't have to go really saturated. Don't worry about that. The character has no environment, unfortunately. Okay, so let's try to rig this up one more time. So, well, yeah, that was a total bomb, eh? Okay. We'll take all of these, expose their rotation values, and then I'm just going to go from one thing to the other. We'll do the index first, and index A is the root bone. So this one, well, the root bone is going to be driven from a different spot. So here we'll do this one. So we'll do index B, and then this one will be index C. Put these to 0, and we'll get rid of animation on them, because I know I was testing animation. So for the actual base knuckle, I'm not going to drive that inside of this composition, because I don't want this finger going... oh, actually, yeah, I do. Okay, right. That's fine. Actually, I thought... Sorry, that's great. Okay, so index... The base one will be index A. There. So now, if we rotate this one, we should get that. Cool. And if we do this one, we'll get that. Okay, and then if we do this one... Now, if we want, I might actually do a thing where I go like this, times 2, just to make it more, so I have to do less, times 2, and times 2. Because otherwise I'm going to have to do a lot of like pluses and minuses to make it bend the finger. So this way I can get a more dramatic bend without having to do actual 1-for-1. And then if we put this to 0, we'll just go like this. And if we shift select them all, we can get like a nice curl to the finger. Okay, so this will sort of be our hand controls. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and do that with the rest of them. And then I got to stop. I'm sorry. The stream didn't quite go the way I was hoping, as usual. But what I think I can do here is if I just go here and I go into thumb, and let's say we do this and I paste it, I can just change this to index left thumb A. This should work because my names are appropriate. They should be right. Thumb B, and then thumb C. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get rid of the keyframes and all this stuff and make sure it all zeroed out. Great. Okay. Let's do the pinky, and I'll just get rid of all the animation. We want to do this one. Will be A, so this will be pinky. It should be pinky. Left. Okay, YA. B. And C. Oh, that one didn't exist for some reason. Pinky left, pinky C. Why doesn't that exist? What is it called? Oh, it's called left, right, pinky C. We don't want that. All right, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. Did we do the middle finger already? No, we didn't. What did I call that? I think I called that ring. That was stupid. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, it worked. that all of them? I think that's all of them. So now we want to go into this comp, and we've got sort of our tilt that we want to do. So our Y rotation, and then our tilt, and I think that'll be our X. So we'll tilt here is be tilt, and this will be pivot. So let's go in this one. We'll just put this over here, and we'll attach the pivot and twist, sorry, to the rotate values here. So twist we'll put on Y. It's pretty easy. Just alt-click that and drag over here to twist, and then pivot will be on X. And I'm not going to double those ones up because they tend to be it's a bit more sensitive. So now if we do these, we'll get a hand that will twist and pivot. Eventually we can link the twist and pivot up with additional drawings that would swap out depending on the value, and then give us like an arm that kind of has a bit of a rotation to it. But for now, we're not going to go that far. That's a little bit too intense. But that's about it. So essentially, I mean, I haven't built the other hand yet, so I still have to build the other hand. But what's cool with this, I guess, is that you can actively rotate your fingers without having to do any like crazy, go into any nested compositions or anything like that. I might have to fix some of the starching on this, but there we go. And this is the stuff that's a little bit harder to do if you're using joysticks and sliders. It's just individual finger controls, which you can link up. Of course you can. It's not impossible to link up to stack joysticks and sliders with custom controls. It's just a little bit, you just need to have the plugin. Okay, we run out of finger space right around there. There. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, that'll have to be it for today. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry for the bizarre stream, and it's kind of, I know it's been a little bit all over the map, but we're getting closer to finishing this character out, and there's a lot of controls on it, as you can see. So I'll just zero all these back out again. But that's a dynamic hand for you. Pramod, I'll try to stream tomorrow again at some time, but my next like guaranteed stream is Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, so I hope to see you guys. I'll just probably stream randomly here and there, but definitely on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see ya.